Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the QLads channel. We are back for another match of the URC, the final game we are covering before the quarterfinals, and that is not too far away at all. I believe it's the 6th of May quarterfinals for the URC getting underway. But this game, Munster versus the Sharks, we've just seen a one-sided affair between a South African and an Irish side. Leinster, they did end up getting themselves a few points, I believe 7, but the Bulls getting 62. Now this matchup, I think it's going to be a lot closer. We see a strong side coming from Ireland for this game here. And Munster looking very good in their last outing. Looking through at the Sharks starting lineup, it will be Oxnashare, Bungium Benumbi, and Thomas de Toit as the front row. Then from there will be Lavaskakne and Gerbra Rovala as the locking duo. See Kalisi Vincent Tsuka, and also Noche. Slotting in at number 8, Grant Williams and Kerwin Bosch, the 9-10 combo. Ben Tupawai and Lukanyawa make up the midfield. Makazoli Mapimpi, Vernicock, and Biota Chamberlain at the back. So a very strong side for the Sharks here. They are still missing Eben Etzebeth. That is due to his injury. Hopefully he will be back in time for the World Cup. But now looking through at this Munster side, Jeremy Luckman in the front row alongside Barron and Stephen Archer. Then Jean Klein at number 5. Or 4, in fact, I should say. He did have a decent game last week overall, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do again. Wickley there at number 5, Peter O'Mahony at 6, Kendall at 7, and Gavin Coombs number 8. So the same combo as they went with in their last week's game up against the Stormers. Connor Murray at 10, Jack Crowley at number 10. I'm messing up my numbers big time. Murray at 9, Crowley at 10. I'm quite excited for this game. Malachi Fekitoa and Frisch in the midfield. And then Daly out on one wing, Nash out on the other, and Haley coming in at number 15. But we have got already in the chat, we have got Grant Williams was the greatest name ever, or with the greatest name ever. And yeah, he's going to be in the starting side, Grant Williams. The thing is, that halfback battle at this stage for the Springboks, it's starting to get more and more real, isn't it? Not the name value, of course, but who is going to be the main guy for them in the World Cup, who will be the backup, and then who is the guy after that? And I feel like there's about 6 names in the hat at the moment for them. They have, of course, got de Klerk. I'd say he's going to be in there somewhere. Hendricks is a bit of a 50-50 at the moment. Not going to be playing in the starting lineup for this game or off the bench for the Sharks. And then you've also got quite a few other names, such as a Grant Williams, Kobus Reiner. Outside of them, you've got Nahamba as a bit of a shout. Also, Herschel Yankees. A lot of guys there, but these are the men off the bench. I'm looking forward to looking at a Dogbo when he makes his way out onto the field, seeing what he can do, because he is a beast when he is running around the park. Comes in as a lock, but he is certainly hard to put down and should be a very exciting one to see. Pepsi Buthelezi the same alongside Apalili Fassi for the South Sea Sharks. And Ronak, Fuff, and William in that order, I think, says Gareth. And come on, Munster, let's win this, says Richard there as well. But like I mentioned, it was Leinster who were defeated in their last game up against the Bulls, the final one of the season. That is not how Munster want to end off their URC, because as we currently sit, if we quickly get our URC table up, United Rugby Championship, I believe, can they still get a home final, or are they missing out? They are 6th at the moment. Theoretically, if Glasgow lose their next game badly and Munster manage to win this game with a bonus point, they can get themselves a home final for their URC fixture. More than likely, that would actually set them up to face off against Glasgow. All right, everyone, Leinster's second team says it was, but they were able to beat the Lions last week with that same second team. So it's one of those ones that, yes, it's nowhere near the strongest Leinster side, but they've shown already they had the potential to go out there and win that game. Just weren't able to put it together on the park. Our record books won't say B team true. In a year's time or 6 months' time, when people see that result, they won't go, oh, I wonder what side they put out. I wonder if Johnny Sexton was playing. It's going to be more of the case of, okay, it's in the record books. They put the side out there. They wanted to win that game. Could have sent over the first team. And also we have got there, come on the Sharks, you guys need this one badly, says Megan there. Yeah, that's the thing. The Sharks are also in that case because, I mean, the only other side, no, in fact, no, the Sharks are all right. No matter what, they are in the top 8. It's just more of a question of, are they going to be playing Leinster in their quarterfinal match, or if they can get the victory here, there is more of a chance they'll be playing Ulster. The way that the table's setting up, though, it seems like there at this stage no South African derbies in the quarterfinals, which I think will make the South African supporters and a lot of people very happy, because it does mean that maybe the semi-finals at earliest is when we will see two South African sides clash. That is if they get through their quarter-final fixtures. But we see Zebra there at the bottom of the bunch, Dragons, Scarlets, Ospreys cannot quite get there. Same can be said about Cardiff, who are going head-to-head with the Glasgow Warriors in their next game, I believe it is. Maybe I've got that around the wrong way. There's actually still a couple games left of the URC, which is very exciting. Sadly, they aren't being shown in New Zealand for the rest of this round. Ben Tapawai delivering a child. I think it was Sia Khaleesi's child now that they're talking about that. Now Makazole Mapimpi also going to be in the starting lineup for the Sharks. It's going to be a fantastic game. I have that feeling, and I hope it is, because it is currently 4:15 a.m. in New Zealand. I'm still sick, sadly. I woke up and I was like, surely 5 hours sleep is going to completely knock this bug out of me. It did not. But the voice is actually doing a little bit better. I think that's because I haven't had the day of talking beforehand. Going to be the Sharks, though, to kick off this game. Very loud in the headphones, even though it's very quiet on the overall thing. And also we have got there, Hamish, you sound a bit fluish. Yeah. Unfortunately, got sick on Monday and have been sick ever since, unfortunately. Thursday, I thought I was getting better. Friday, I learned that I wasn't. That's going to be kicked high. Malachi Fekitoa, I think it's gone literally straight through his hands. Did he get a touch to it? No touch. So Munster, they will have themselves a line out just inside of their own 22, but not quite what they would have liked off the kickoff there. Stephen Baton going to have the throw. HIV, says Gareth. Not that I know of. I don't think you can catch that from just chilling, can you? Not sure. Haven't researched it much. Oh, bit of a counter-ruck there from Thomas Tatoy. He's been told no. To him for a start, that meant, yeah, see if you can get it a little bit more. Now, Connor Murray going to be rolling this one back for Munster. Going to put it high, and Sharks need a bonus point, says Andre. Although with the Sharks, even if they win with that bonus point, I mean, it may get them up to 7th, but they cannot quite get themselves all the way up to 6th, which would be ahead of Munster. Yeah, they've got a chance of getting ahead of Connacht. So any points that they can get, they will be happy enough with it, I would be thinking. A nice offload there. Jean Klein runs at the line. Now Connor Murray back across to the right-hand side. Malachi Fekitoa making another mistake. Now that man lately has been playing not so flash. We did criticise him a little bit last week. It almost cost his team the game. Now Kerwin Bosch kicks it down the middle of the park. Just a bit of territory being played early on. Are you following Black Caps versus Pakistan T20 series? New Zealand have the chance to level the series. I'll be honest, I haven't actually been able to watch any of those games. I haven't actually really even been keeping up with the results. Mainly because with them being on in the middle of the night, if I was healthy, it would be ideal because I'd be able to watch them and not feel worse for staying up at a random hour of the night. But yeah, from this week, it's just been really hard to stay awake late. Now, Hiram Andrews. In fact, that was Vincent Tachuka knocks the ball back onto the side of the Sharks. Now Sia Khaleesi breaking the line. If there's ever a time for this man to step up, it's definitely in a big game, but maybe the quarterfinals, if Connacht and the Sharks win, they'll be spot 6 and 7. Sorry for the spelling, says Andre. Oh, big break of the line. So that would then mean that Munster have themselves an Irish derby, Leinster versus Munster in the next game. But either way, Sharks are playing an Irish team. It's just whether it's Leinster or Ulster that they do go head-to-head with. Makazole Mapimpi, nice Gary Ford again for the Sharks. Now, I have to say Munster, they put in a massive performance last week, so you wonder, was that big game that they had in them? Owen Bosch, nice work. Malachi Fekitoa getting in the breakdown, doesn't quite get the turnover. Now Williams goes to Thomas Tatoy. The voice cannot go this early. We're only 3 minutes into the game. Bongi Manumbi passes off to Makazole Mapimpi. Chamberlain now. Oh, kind of pops out the back of that breakdown, but not like slightly popped. It went back by about 5 metres. Now Labaskakni has that ball. Given Rumela, quick hands to Vern the Clock. Ball on the outside to Sia Khaleesi down the wing, doing a bit of tightrope walking. Same with Lucanio arm, little flick pass off to Khaleesi. Cannot quite get to the line though, and just threw away the ball. Knee injury for Sia Khaleesi. How serious? He's in pain. Now, the thing is, with it being this close to a World Cup, is that the blow that gets rid of Sia Khaleesi for this World Cup cycle? What's happened here? He was running down the wing. He received the offload. There will be a lot of concern for a lot of people. Oh, I think it was just knocked to the side of the knee there. So I'm hoping he's going to be all right. It might have just been that he jarred it, falling awkwardly. And also, I saw your cricket vlog. Is this the first time you score 50 runs in a run chase and win it for your team? Says Cody, yeah, first time I've actually ever scored 50 runs in my life, which is quite nice. And the fact that I've got it on camera as well, so that when people are like, you haven't scored 50 runs, I can be like, here's a video. But yeah, first game that we've won of the season as well, that one. And what? Rickenell says, Gareth, nah, it looks like, there's a bit of an extra extension there. I believe it's actually that right knee when he was falling. He was trying to put all of his weight on the one, bent it at an awkward angle. First glance, I want to say it's just jarred. Oh, I hope it's not anything MCL, ACL, any of those CLs. As soon as you get into the CL, it's not good. They're going to strap it up and they're going to keep him playing. So that tells you that, yes, the World Cup is just around the corner, but they need Khaleesi for this game. And the Sharks team for the last 1 to 2 years struggled to gel. There's Andre. I guess that's really come from when you look at their side and the amount of players who go in and out of international duty. Like the front row, Oxnashare, Bongi, Manumbi, Thomas Tatoya, all Springboks. Then you've got normally Etzebeth, Khaleesi, backline, Lukaniwa, Makazole Mapimpi. All these guys all going in and out. So it does make it very tricky to find that winning combo. Sharks ended their 3-game losing run. They just said down the bottom for their last game. And Sharks don't play as a team. That's why Sharks are on the log where they are, says Andre. Yeah, because if you look at their side, talent-wise, it's there. Like, they have got a lot of talented players, but it's just getting that right combination that does make it harder. An ACL tear is a very worst injury, says Goading, and take him off. Pipsy is on the bench. It's okay, says Gareth. See, that's the thing. They've got to make the decision. How much are they willing to risk him for this game? Because it's not just about that World Cup. We've got we've got URC quarterfinals around the corner. That is going to be. See, they're saying they don't want to finish 8th, so they need Khaleesi to put in a shift here, which fair enough. But also got to remember they're still in the quarterfinals, even if they lose this contest. And they do not want to lose Sia Khaleesi for those quarterfinals. He is one of those players that they definitely need. He is going to try and limp it off. This is a risky tactic. You heard it here first. If he ends up going down with an injury, we will be correct in what we were saying that maybe they shouldn't risk him. And as that you, Mr. Chimney, is Grant. Now, Grant Williams, sharing the first name, going to be gone for this line out. Fun fact, Grant, sharing your first name, sharing. I was going to say something, but I don't know whether or not you're supposed to say middle names and whatnot. Not so much for me, but for someone else that's going to be now going in behind. We'll go back for the penalty. More like Leinster's third team. Says flip a coin there. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big Shark supporter, but to see them lose every second or third game breaks my heart. Says Andre. It's still lost. Says Gareth. Yeah. It'll be one of those ones that the Leinster boys, for a start, they will know. But then that same Leinster third team beat the Lions last week. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because going into this game, they would have fully had the potential of being able to go on and get themselves that victory. but they just didn't do very well. Unfortunately, I don't know whether it was because they had their big game last week up against the Lions, getting that comeback win. Now Munumbi 5 metres out from the line, throwing it in. Looks like there's a few blows of the whistle there. Referee not very happy. Okay, Sharks went in early. Mike Adamson said, and nope, it's not the Andre Dumini I know. He would never be a Sharks fan, says Grant. Okay, Mike Adamson saying he didn't see a dummy. Right, here we go. Sharks 5 metres out. Nice throw in taken by Hurra. Had a bit of contact in the air though from Munster, so the advantage is now in favour of the home side. Durban trying to get themselves that last victory, the final hurdle perhaps before the quarterfinals. Umbanambi's over. Hard to stop when he's that close to the line, and he has got himself the first try of the match. Unless the fans going to make excuses like that, but they got bollocked. There's Gareth. And there's Andre there, but what a try for Mongi Manumbi. 11 career tries now in the URC, and he just keeps on going from strength to strength. And I from Switzerland says, Karma Pitch, welcome in. You are doing very well. Anyone who is tuning in just now, I do apologize for my voice. I have been sick, or quite sick this week, and still am. So that's why it doesn't sound too flash, but hopefully it's not going to be absolutely terrible throughout the next little while. Great work from Bongi and Manumbi to just keep that body position low, going to the short side, so it's always going to be tough to stop him from only a couple metres out. I believe it's going to be Kerwin Bosch with the kicking tee, the Sharks today. But 5-0, good early start to the match for the Sharks. We are yet to see Munster actually inside of the Sharks half. Yeah, pretty much half. I was going to say 22, but half. You need some lozenges, says Neelan. At the moment, my lozenge is this glass of water. But yeah, hopefully it should be all right. It probably doesn't help that I did decide to wake up at about 3:30 a.m. today so that I could cover this game, even though I only went to bed at about 10:30. Wasn't going to be missing it. Even if I had hardly any voice, it was still going to be the last bit of it used up on this game. Kerwin Bosch, little bit away to the left-hand side. It was good strike of the ball. See ya, give us your shirt. My mum wants to see your 8-pack. And the mum was sitting next to those children. So it's a real family affair at the rugby. And Leinster lost their first game ever against the Bulls, 62 points to 7. Greg Sanders can't stay long. So I'm going to drop by and give a like. Support the stream. Thank you very much, Mounts of Asylum. Hoping for a Munster win, even if it's unlikely. Okay, they have taken him off the field, Sir Khaleesi. That's the right decision. At the end of the day, it may not be the popular decision for this game. For some Sharks supporters, I believe a lot of people, though, would be like, yeah, he's got to go off just in case. You don't want to risk him now, not just for the Sharks campaign, but also for the Springboks around the corner. But Grant Williams goes off to Rubala, only 25 metres out from their own line here, the Sharks, so they won't be able to kick this one out on the full, even with it being rolled back into the 22. Kick it high, decent distance on that box kick as well, nicely taken. I believe that would have been Daly on this near side of the field. Connor Murray passes off to Wickerley. A big run forward in the midfield. Jean Klein actually having another crack. Baron offloaded back. That's a knock on from Munster, and the ball comes free for it. It was actually Andre Labaskachny. Longy on Manumbi in the way of that one. They will be going back for the original knock on. My eye is itchy. Glasgow lose. How dare you, good sir? Says Kerr. You caught that, did you, Kerr? It was only a slight little blunder, perhaps. They have got who they got. Are they playing Connacht? Is that who they have? They do have Connacht, so that will be a good game. It's a shame that they do not have that game on New Zealand TV. I feel like that would have been quite a good one to watch. Just catching up, says Kerr. Are you watching in like 1.5 times speed, Kerr? Like flying through some of the sentences that I say are quick enough as they are, but imagine that in 1.5. I feel like that would be very confusing. And Dragons won against the Scarlets, 31 points to 14. Good win for the Dragons. Unfortunately, though, it was kind of that case of both sides, they had nothing left in terms of what they could gain. It was more just about who can win that final contest. Do you reckon France are overrated heading into the World Cup? Says Everything Facts. I mean, I don't know about overrated. They are rated at the moment by a lot of people. Like home soil, we're on a massive winning streak until Ireland did end it, but still finished pretty decently in the Six Nations, getting themselves some big victories. Like they're in some of their best form heading into this Rugby World Cup that they have been in this situation. Nice bounce pass to Mike Haley in the end it was. Unfortunately, the man who threw the bounce pass was the Sharks. Now, nice pass off from Kendallin. But yeah, I'd say like same as Ireland. They both have really a good chance of doing as good as they could this year. Like Ireland, I feel they are going to do better than they ever have before. That is going to be once again knocked away. Shane Daly kicks it in behind for Peter O'Mahony to try and chase. Sorry, there's a combination of football and rugby going on here. A lot of rubber kicks along the ground. Now Bongiam Nambi goes off to Vincent Tachuka straight over the ball. That is brilliant body position, and Munster win themselves the penalty. That was Stephen Barron who got in there. Sorry, not Stephen, that's Stephen Archer, whose name's Stephen, but Barron does get it, if I'm allowed to say. It is a good trade-in. Thomas Dutoy is Stephen Koch, says Andre Duminy. Yeah, Stephen Koch. Well, sorry, not Stephen. Why is everyone called Stephen in my mind today? But Thomas Dutoy, very handy. And it just shows how much, not just skill that the Sharks side will have, but how much budget is going into the side to try and make it as good as possible. That's why they need some wins under their belt in these quarterfinal fixtures. And I had a meeting, but back to live now, says Kerr. Hopefully the meeting went all right. You are still able to enjoy the cruise. 12 minutes in at the moment. It's going to be a line-out throw. Barron about to put the ball in to the line-out. Nicely taken by Peter O'Mahony. Grabs it with one hand. Now the rolling maul of Munster. It's been taken down. Was it legally? I think they say yes, which does mean it's going to be very hard for Munster to get this ball out. And it's actually available for the Sharks here. Actually managed to get that clean turnover. It'll be a good game. Well, it'll be good to see Munster giving some game time to young Finn. Aaron Diaz at 12, quick on the ball, makes penetrating passes. I see Prendergast has been elevated from the under-20s to Munster starter. Series of Water Sports. Yeah, big opportunity. Oh, actually, they've got Jack Crowley, which is interesting because I swear I saw in that first lineup, it did have. Well, sorry. Wasn't Prendergast starting for Leinster today? Or have I got that round the wrong way? Where did I see the name Prendergast? It might have been on the Leinster starting side. Different Leinster, though, mate. Well, sorry, different Prendergast, perhaps, though. Now, nicely claimed by Jean Klein. 13 minutes into this contest, Malachi Fekatoa crashes at the line there. Round the side, quick hands from Shane Daly. Almost turned over from the Sharks in the breakdown with Thomas Dutoy. Oh, big shot coming in the breakdown. But now Murray goes off to Luckman. Himself a little bit of time under the Irish belt for the New Zealand tour in July. Now Murray, short ball again to Jean Klein. Currently, the Sharks doing very well to stop meters being made. Tackle was actually made by Pepsi Buthelezi, the man who came on the field for Sia Khaleesi, the early stages of the match. Now, another run from Wycherley. 5 meters out from the line. Now Murray gets confused at whether or not he was supposed to play that ball or whether he was joining the breakdown. There is going to be an advantage in favour of Munster. Fekatoa dragged down 5 meters out from the line again. Nice spin from Stephen Archer. Murray, quick hands, doesn't work out. They're going back for the penalty. Sorry, I got my teams mixed up. There's a Water Sports fan. Yeah, my brain was really scrambled at that moment. I was trying to work out exactly which lineups I had seen everyone in. But yeah, a lot of these Irish under-20 players are going to find themselves with big opportunities in the future. Same with, I mean, the under 20 World Cup, not actually too far away. We actually know those fixtures as well. I've got them on my phone. Who everyone is going to be playing. A moment, we'll go here. Where is it? Where is it? I thought I had them here. Do I not? Oh, here they are. So for Ireland, they're going to be playing the England under 20 side first. So if it goes anything like the previous fixtures between the two sides, I'd say they'll be pretty happy with drawing them. South Africa in their first game, they are going to be playing up against Georgia. So that should be a nice. Oh, it's tricky though, isn't it? Because Georgia are pretty decent in terms of young talent. They're a little bit similar to Italy, how maybe their top team doesn't really perform too well, but the younger side do get some pretty decent moments. That is going to be making the score 5 points to 3. They actually decided to take on the penalty kick rather than going for the 7. So, yeah, 5 points to 3 as we currently sit. And Sharks continue collecting average fly halves like Pokemon, says Gareth. Sharks signed Sia Masuku of the Cheetahs fly half, says Andre. And also we have got there goes the Sharks. And what a save from the Sharks, says Atini there. But yeah, their second game, Ireland are going to be playing Australia. Second game for South Africa, they are playing Italy under 20. So it's more of the case of South Africa playing all of the up-and-coming sides. And then their final game is going to be up against Argentina for the South Africans, whereas Ireland final game will be up against the Fijian under 20. So yeah, we are going to be covering the under 20 World Cup on the channel. Looking forward to it. First under 20s competition that we would have been covering, I believe. Kicked up high, not quite sitting into the hands of the Sharks player. So instead, Munster able to regather. That ball has come out the back. Oxner Shen now being able to get the turnover. Thomas Detoy driving forward. Nice run. Attacking one from Nortshire. Moves to 32 metres out now. Munster over the ball again, though. Is it the turnover? It is certainly going to be the penalty. Kennelan was not happy, but he actually won the turnover. He almost got angry at the ref for giving him the penalty. Okay. Not she's been warned about rolling on the ground. And hi there, Under 20 World Cup. When does it start? Says Johan. So the first match for the Under 20 World Cup, I'll just quickly make sure I have this right because I don't want to get the wrong date. First match of the Under 20 World Cup starts on the 24th of June. And it is going to be a 9 p.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. There's Argentina versus Italy. Never actually watched one of these commentary videos with the game before, but actually really good commentary. We'll follow this channel again in the future. Says Everything Facts. Thank you very much, mate. Usually appreciated. Hopefully we're all synced up in terms of the time currently for our clock. It is exactly 18 minutes now, if that does help out at all. I agree, Gareth. Pat Lambie was one of the youngest players for the Sharks, but he played a good game in my opinion. Freddie Michalak. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. I believe I have. Caught out by the spelling. But now Connor Murray. Cross now to Omani. Going to use this one quickly out to the left-hand side here, Munster. Mike Haley. Oh, was there a knock-on the ground? I think there might have been. Yes, there was. Now the Sharks, they will have themselves a scrum about 25 metres out from their own line on the near side. Just wait till the trivia and challenges start, says Kerr. I'm excited. I feel like trivia this week, hopefully it will end up going well. My brain's thinking differently at the moment since I'm sick. So, oh yeah, no, he actually dropped the ball before he even got to the breakdown there, Mike Haley, unfortunately for him. And Hamish, do you think the team that lost the Bulls was Leinster's B/C team? I mean, I have heard that 3 times already, that it was not their strongest side. But, I mean, it's tricky because they still won last week. This almost exact same side got themselves the victory over the Lions. So does that mean that the Lions are just that far behind the other South African sides? Or does it mean that Leinster played their big game last week and didn't quite get to that stage? Did you miss me last weekend, says Kerr? Certainly did. I feel like George missed you a bit too. He's ready to go. He was getting ready for those squats and whatnot. Didn't quite get his chance to prove himself. Now it's going in behind. from Buta Chamberlain. Oh, Lokanyo nice grubber for now. Makazole Mapimpi does the same. Grant Williams, bit of pace. He gave up the chase very early. Knew he wasn't quite getting to it. So, I believe it's going to be a 22 dropout. No, it's a goal line dropout. You've made the ball dead, so it has to be a goal line dropout, is what they've actually said. It wasn't the strongest side, but it was no means a B team. There's Kerr. Yeah, I always say about international, or not international side, sorry. Well, yeah, international as well. Like, in my opinion, if you're good enough to be in the squad, you're the team rather than B or C, if that makes sense. Because there was a while ago where I can't remember which side it was, but they were getting criticised for putting a few young players in, and everyone automatically said it was their B team. But like, these guys, it's a younger side, it's a youthful side, but is it the B team if they have earned their spot in the squad? It's always a tricky one. He's got a bleeding nose. It's what Mike Adamson has said. Does Sexton play though? He did not. Did not play Johnny Sexton. It's quite funny you say that because earlier on I made the joke of because Johnny Sexton didn't play, everyone would already call it the B team, and it seems like that is exactly where that has gone. And it was the ref Mike Adamson for this game. I agree, Hamish, but the number one Irish internationals did not play, so it's a youthful side. It's a younger team, a future A team, perhaps, I'd say. And yes, Freddie Michalak was a citizen of France, just playing fly half for the Sharks. The Bulls are playing the whole season without their captain. So what a Leinster whinging about the B team, says Kristen there. Oh, a bit of a point in that case. Looks like they are going to be taking on the goal line dropout here, Munster. We just have to wait for that bleeding nose to stop, which is quite a tricky one to stop sometimes. There's a few methods for stopping a bleeding nose. Do you ever commentate fights? We've done one fight card. In fact, we've covered one fight in our lives, I believe. And that was Anthony Joshua versus Usyk, I believe it was. That weird post-match interview, we got to cover that. But we do actually really want to start doing UFC soon. It's just about working out when to go into it because I want to commit if I do start doing so. Like, I watch the UFC each and every week. We probably have, I mean, not bad knowledge. There's still a few gaps in there, but like pretty decent UFC knowledge. So I'd like to cover them in the future. Oh, knock on from Munster, but it did first of all get knocked on by the Sharks. So once again, a scrum feed in this contest, 45 metres out from their own line here, Munster. Is it a good match so far? It's been decent, quite even, you'd have to say, even though the Sharks have had more attacking opportunities. Just the one try on the board. Munster, when they've been on attack, they've looked dangerous. They just haven't really had enough chances to do so. All the sides will travel to Europe for the quarterfinals. Stormers may play Munster again, says Cameron there. And yeah, the Sharks, they might find themselves up against Leinster, depending on if they can win this game. Are you doing the Leinster match next Saturday? I'm going to it. Which game have they got next Saturday? Leinster versus, it's the Champions Cup, isn't it? Who are they playing in that one? Jealousy makes you nasty, but final, says Danny DeToy. And also, Leinster will possibly play Connacht. Interesting, won't it? It does end up working out that way. That's going to be a nice carry forward. Oh, a counter ruck there, but the Sharks have given away the penalty and through the side. Munster once again get themselves another penalty. And Flow Rugby is buffering in the middle of Washington Square Park. The stream is working perfectly, says Mo. I've heard mixed opinions about Flow Rugby. Overall, I think I have an affiliate code with them, but the amount of times that I've heard about people's coverage cutting in and out, I don't want to promote it until that's fixed, because at the end of the day, I don't want to say, hey, you should buy this service that doesn't completely work yet. Like, there's still a lot that they need to work on in terms of being able to get clear streaming for everyone, because the amount of games that have been like completely cut out, as quite a few rules of rugby are changing so fast. In the near future, a player will not be allowed to tackle from the ankles downwards, says Andre there. I mean, in the local rugby, I believe you're not allowed to tackle from the nipple up has actually changed. So it's no longer around this kind of, like, anything here is penalty. And I think it almost is yellow card now as well for anything higher. Now off to the right-hand side, Malakai Fekitoa. Currently 10 metres out from the line. Connor Murray. Short ball to Jean Klein. These boys looking to go here, Munster. Looking for the opportunity, maybe out wide. They do need to get it to Calvin Nash soon. I'd like to see him with the ball in hand. Ball is available. Don't hold him in. Connor Murray trying to use some of that veteran instinct to try and milk the penalty. Doesn't work out for him there. Mike Adamson saw straight through it. Now Malakai Fekitoa looked for a risky offload. It was never really on. I don't think he quite had his arms free enough to be able to go for that pass. And Sternum, highest point of contact, is the latest. Wait, Sternum, highest point of contact is the latest, I believe. Yeah, so I guess you've got this region which you're not allowed to touch now. It sounds like a weird sentence, doesn't it, with where I'm directing it? But that's the thing. There's always the one kid in a rugby team who tackles around the bootlaces, and he's normally effective up until he gets a knee in the head. So, like, the hips are dangerous as well. You don't want to run into someone's hip. That's hard. Knees, a lot of danger points. Like, I think not so much people try and tackle around here sometimes for the fact that it's like soft. Or what was I going to say? I think I was going to say that it's actually kind of like there's less chance of a shoulder knocking you out than running straight into a patella in the middle of your forehead, you know? I get the low tackles. What if you have a big 120 kg player running at the line? You're going to risk a knee drive, get knocked the hell out. That's pretty much what we've said there. Like, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous game. As well as a suggestion, women's rugby will be allowed to move kicks infield to limit the distance to make it a little bit easier, which is outrageous, says Kerr there. Yeah, see, they do have a lot of missed kicks in women's rugby, but then it's also, I guess, with everyone being in that same boat, it makes it so that it's like, that will just mean that the best kickers don't get to show off that best kicking. Like, it will mean that everyone will have the opportunity to get those hard kicks that only the very best would be able to get. By the way, in Australia, where can you watch the URC? URC for Australia, I don't think it's on stand. Oh, it's another offload from Malakai Fekitoa. It was always going down around Stephen Archer's ankles, which is hard for a big man to get that low. It's going to be another knock on. Fekitoa's had a bit of a mixed bag game so far once again. Just seems to be trying to force something rather than just allowing it to happen. How's your hands that weekend been? I've been sick. The whole weekend, in fact, the whole week. Since Monday, I have been unwell, so that hasn't been flashed. But the good news is, even though I've been feeling terrible, I've been very productive, you know? Like, I've edited so many videos this week. We got the cricket video up midweek, which was great. Already edited about maybe 50 or so % of the next one. It's just about trying to cut it down from 50 minutes at the moment. But it was 5 hours, so I feel like I'm slowly getting there. And yeah, even though they have been rough, but I cooked food yesterday. It was quite nice. I made some roast potatoes, but like fancy, so that they were nice and fluffy and crunchy and whatnot. But that is going to be a penalty to the Sharks. Munster, to say that they've blown another opportunity, I'd sound like a broken record, but at the moment, this broken record doesn't seem to be getting fixed anytime soon. That's about 4 or 5 inside of the Sharks 22 that they haven't been able to convert into points. And fried chicken at 10-3. It's so good. Says Aiden, and too much South Africa beer. Beat Leinster, says Karma Pitch. And so challenge 1 is 5 landlocked countries. Ooh. See, the thing is, my geography, I can name about 190 of the countries' flags around the world, but I don't know if I can name landlocked. I've just got to try and think of somewhere that's like in the middle, don't I? Somewhere like Uzbekistan, is that landlocked? Be a good first shout. We'll go with that. Uzbekistan, landlocked country. That's going high. Now, I'll try to take this one nicely done by once again. It will be the number 15, Mike Haley. Wrestled down. Munster starting to get a little bit more of the possession. As George coming tomorrow? We don't actually have any live streams tomorrow, but we were considering going fishing tomorrow night since the fishing season's almost completely over for river fishing anyway here up until around June. So we were thinking about going fishing tomorrow. So if I'm feeling a little bit better, we'll probably take 2 vehicles and we'll just keep our distance so that I don't get him sick. The last thing I want to do is get him sick for a busy week that he's got ahead. Now that's gone high. Curl and Bosch all taken out in the air, is it? Yes, it is. Penalty goes the way, mistiming it. Unfortunately, it is Leinster versus Toulouse, yeah, so that's going to be a fantastic game to be able to watch. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi, Lesotho, and Mali. Right. Those are 5 that I cannot use now. But Mali, unfortunately, was going to be a guess for me in Africa. So I guess I got to go outside of the African region now. We'll go Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan as well. We'll go with those 2, see if they add a couple more points to the table. Oh, they're not going to upgrade this to a yellow, are they? I don't see how it can be a yellow. Oh, it's a yellow card. Get out of town. Wow. Okay, because he's fallen from height, it becomes a yellow card. I don't think anyone was expecting that. And also see his last game for the Sharks sadly didn't play out like it was planned, but the coaches need him fit for the Springboks. Very true. They've got quarterfinals just around the corner. We are better. Tajikistan is a point, yes. Was that one I said? No, I didn't say that one. I said Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. That's a fun one. But is it land? I hope it's. I'll take Tajikistan as a point if you want. And Turkmenistan was my other one. I want to get away from those borders though, because I feel like as soon as you get too close to the water, then you're tricky. My wife attacks nipples. Does she? You have got a picture of a cat, and cats do have a few nipples, don't they? Not speaking from experience. Now, Pepsi Buthelezi breaking off the back air for the Sharks, 5 meters out from the line. And if they score now, that would be massive. Oh, Werner Cock tries to crawl over. I think that's a try. Got over. Right, Munster will be kicking themselves here. And Azerbaijan is it? Oh, no. Isn't it? It's got water next to it, does it? That's like one of the randomest places I could have gone with. And also Storm saying, go the Sharks, go, says Dion. What else we got in that kind of region of the world? We'll go with Jordan. Turkmenistan is. Okay, well, we'll chuck Jordan in there. We'll chuck the UAE. No, not the UAE. And Bulls did their job. Now Sharks have to do the same. Go to the South African team, says Rudy there. And does this look like a good match or sloppy? Bit sloppy so far from both sides. The amount of handling errors we have seen. Who got yellow carded? It was actually, I believe it was Crowley for Munster. But yeah, it was one of the Munster backline that end up with a yellow card. 5 landlocked: Angola, Botswana, Congo, Zimbabwe, and CAR, which is Central African Republic. I'm joking, Azerbaijan so you are on 4 points. Okay, so Jordan is my last pick, which I'm less confident about than any of the others. But we'll go with it. Werner Cock, they see grounding. It's just whether or not it was double movement. I think they're going to say that it wasn't, though. I think he's going to be all right, is he? What does Mike Adamson decide? Peter Omani is going over and saying, excuse me, referee, I think he slightly rolled. But there was an offside player. Jordan, no, didn't think so. That was the one that I wasn't sure about. We'll go with Oman. Okay, they've looked at the try. It is good. And if we're not Oman, we'll go with Yemen. I feel like at this stage, this is almost a name every country in that kind of Middle East region. Maybe that's a quiz that we're going to do afterwards, Kerr. If I can name every country in a certain region, I'll get the prize. No, didn't think so either. Struggling. Angola is landlocked. There's a Mo. Sorry, I had Zambia in my head, not Angola. Gareth. That kick is going to be successful, going straight over from Phil and Bosch. That will now make the score 12 points to 0 in favour of the Sharks. Now, I should mention they will be chasing a bonus point in this contest, nothing less. So they need another 2 tries, and they also need the victory, of course. Munster, they needed a bonus point. Oh, no. So Germany, is also landlocked. Are there any of those other UAE or not UAE, sorry, any other Middle Eastern countries that I missed? Like you said, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, I believe I've done. Azerbaijan, we went with as well. Oh, another one. Well, if the last was a yellow card, they'd probably call that one as well. But instead, it's going to be a knock on. Oman is not landlocked. Yeah, so I got it wrong. Close. Oh, Austria, is it? And Bulls would do good in the playoffs, says Dion. Yeah, I believe the reason it is just a knock on rather than a penalty is because the other player was put there. Switzerland. Ah, Switzerland landlocked. Yeah, awkward landing for Chamberlain. Lands right on that side. The Vatican is landlocked, says Grant. There you go, Vatican City. I feel like we're going to have to do a countries of the world quiz some stage after this live stream. Austria for the 5th point. Nicely done, says Kerr. I had to be gifted it though, didn't I? I was struggling a little bit. I think I was thinking in the wrong region. Is Bangladesh landlocked or no? No, I don't think it is. I think it's down the bottom part, isn't it? I didn't go down the African route, but I'm sure, like you guys were saying, there's quite a few. 3 countries that have purple on their flag. Or 3 countries have purple on their flag. Name one, says Kerr. Right, purple. This will test my flag knowledge, won't it? But it's going to be kicked into touch by Kerwin Bosch. Purple. See, I'm listing a heap of flags in my mind. I'm thinking through, and I can't think of one that's got the nice stripes that's got purple on it, unless maybe like a Seychelles, but I don't think they do have purple. I think they've got almost every other colour but. Now, Bongyo Manumbi about to throw this ball in. Oman's got orange. I don't think they've got purple on there as well, though. Nicely taken. At the front now, going back across. Grant Williams. One more to Kerwin Bosch. Ball on the outside to Lukanyoam. 40 metres from the line now. Stripped by Munster. They get it back. Batter on. Goes across to Gavin Coombs. We haven't actually seen that man with a run so far throughout this contest, but he's dragged down low by Vincent Tachuka. And also we've got there Sri Lanka. Says coding there. Now nice pass across. Lachman doing well. Now it's going to be Connor Murray following up the box kick. Munster, even though they are a man down, they do need to find themselves another try or a first try relatively soon in this contest. Grant Williams now looking to use this ball. Yep, it's available. Going to the left-hand side to Oxnashare. Had a bit of a fumble, but still managed to hang on to it and also made a few extra meters in the process. Now Williams back into the pocket, an awkward one. Chamberlain does well to take it out to his right-hand side. Now Makazole Mapimpi ends up with the ball in hand. Luxembourg, Coding Googled it and ruined your challenge. Now I need to think of another. Just know that these guys, some of them are pretty quick with the, oh no, I thought the Sri Lanka one was the one, but it's literally he's gone and put the 3. Yeah, I didn't realize he. Sorry, I didn't know. Says coding there. You saved me a bit there, coding, because I don't think I was getting those ones anytime soon. Now Chamberlain kicks it in behind. Nicely done. I'll take another flag trivia one if we are keen. It's going to be kicked in behind nicely by Crowley. That one does find touch. A good clear and kick down towards halfway. 7 minutes remaining in this first half. At the moment, the Sharks, they have already got themselves the 2 tries. They need 2 more to get themselves the bonus point. The way the URC table is sitting, Sharks are in 8th on 46. Above them, Connacht sitting on 49. And then above them, it is Munster on 53. So the only way for the Sharks, no matter what, the Sharks are pretty much 8th. Because if Connacht win and the Sharks win, they still stay in the same position relatively. Like the Sharks won't go ahead of Munster. So no matter what, it seems the Sharks are going to have Leinster in their next game for the quarterfinal. And also, we have got Evening Amish watch the 50 the other day. Well better, mate. Thanks for the rugby commentary. Go the Sharks, says Joss. Thank you very much. All Kerwin Bosch injury. Hopefully nothing too serious. Once again, was possibly in contention for a possible Springbok chance, but doesn't look like he will be continuing this match. Maybe shoulder injury by the looks of that. But yeah, that 50 took me more balls than I wanted. But the good news is the chase that we were only chasing 160, so we only needed 4 runs and over. So there was no need to rush and end up getting myself out doing something silly. So yeah, it was fun. We've got our next one coming out hopefully in the next week or two. Already edited. Those matches, they are a little bit older, which does mean that I've got, I guess, 3 or 4 up the sleeve still. Most common color on national flags. Well, it's either going to be white, blue, or red. I would say blue because of the Commonwealth, but then the Commonwealth, no, the Union Jack actually, now that I think about it, does affect it. So I'd say, oh, but white's not a color, it's a shade if you're getting really technical. So I would probably go blue to represent the ocean. And I'm in Subway now in the match. And the match is on, says Mo. And also was the other opener who scored also 50, played aggressively. You batted so slowly, says Coding. Well, the thing is, I also cut out a lot of his shots. I believe he ended up with 56 of about 90 or so balls as well. He actually faced about the same as me, but I had less aggressive looking shots. Oh, it was red. I know it was one of them. Although the symbolicness of red on some of them is probably interesting, isn't it, in terms of what it stands for? Oh, Yuvan Hrubala just having a bit of a push and a shove of Kendallin. It's gone high. Oh, but yeah, that was my cousin. The chest. Sharks now with the ball available on the left. Notchi. Oh, a bit of a slip there, but a knock on. Coming at the wrong time for Yandre Lavashachny, who is playing 4 for this game. Also, how many stars on the Chinese flag? We got the one bigger one and maybe about, I'll go 6. Yeah, about 6. I know they've got the bigger one and then the ones around it, but I don't know exactly how many of those smaller flags they've got on there. And Austria says Karma pitch. Yeah, and also we have got Smashdom's mark, big 50 plus points from Nate there. Now 3.5 minutes remaining. Who was man of the match? Was it you? I don't think we really have man of the match, but I would have given it to my cousin. He also got that line out right at the end of the, or not the line out, the run out, which I show right at the end of the video, 5. So it's 4 stars and then the biggest star. And only flag that doesn't have 4 sides. Only flag that doesn't have 4 sides would be Nepal, because they've got their down the boom like that. Now big push from the Sharks. They win the penalty at scrum time. They'll be eagerly awaiting their man to return from the bench here. Munster and Denmark is the oldest flag. Oh, there you go. And Nepal, very nice. So we're not talking about food. No, it's gone from food to flags. That could be a great series name, Food to Flags. What copyright pen that one right now? You're the Chamberlain going to be putting this one towards the touchline. For the Sharks. Took a little while to make that decision, Lucanio arm. They were considering it, whether or not it's worth going to the corner. Certainly is that bonus point. I'd love to have it. Which national flag has a shipwreck on it? A shipwreck. Oh. I'm thinking in my head about the different ones. San Marino? No, San Marino's got something else in the middle, doesn't it? Now, nice drive forward from the Sharks, 5 meters out from the line now, getting close, Bongi Umanambi. The ball available at the back. Now breaking off. Here comes Umanambi. He's already got 1 today, but he's dragged down just short of the line. Finds the offload up to Northshire. That was brilliantly done. And the Sharks now get themselves their 3rd try of the contest, starting to get a little bit more one-sided. Is Leinster okay? Blue Balls 50 plus. Sorry, morning, Amish. How's your morning? It's going all right. The voice is slowly coming back, which is very good news. Still sick, but hopefully I'm all right by like Tuesday. next week, somewhere around there. Oxner Share, it's filled in nicely for my homeboy Beast. Says Mo. And also, I've filled in nicely for the Beast. And there. But yeah, Bongi Manambi found that slip pass up to Notchia. And rolling more once again, proving effective for the Sharks. And Notchia does reap the rewards. No, but geographically close-ish, Gareth, for Barbados. Oh, so it is actually one of those ones in North America. Or sorry, not North. Oh, it might count as North America on the overall. And I was like, Mo, I agree, says everything. Facts, that kick has gone over from Chamberlain. And that will now make the score 19 points to 3. Sharks with a nice lead starting to build here. 25 seconds remaining. Voice sounds all right, boss. Hopefully all good for the Wars versus Storm game. That is true. That is on Tuesday, isn't it? Hopefully I'm home from work in time. I haven't seen the schedule yet, but I believe normally on a Tuesday I would finish at, I think I'd normally actually finish at 6 rather than 8. So I should be fine in terms of that timing. In Trinidad and Tobago, picturing a Caribbean country in my head. Can't think which. Says Gareth, that one. Has it gone out on the full? Nope. It has been taken into touch. So we are going into halftime now. 19 points to 3 in favour of the home side, the Sharks. And famous shipwrecks and disappearances. Oh, Bermuda. Is it Bermuda? Maybe. Trinidad and Tobago. I'm picturing a Caribbean country in my head. Can't think of which. And also, fingers crossed, says it was there from the Blues Nate. And at this point, I will assume the Irish lads are missing their mums. 2 weeks, a long time from home. Luckily, a lot of them get to return. You're at Leinster, Ulster. They are going to be having home games. What happened to your job at the bowling alley? I still have it. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I had to miss all 3 days because I was sick. And I didn't want to get everyone else sick, unfortunately. So yeah, I ended up in the scenario of taking 3 days off, which is slightly unfortunate because since I just started there, I have no sick days. So it's pretty much 3 unpaid days of the week that I wasn't able to work. Same with Monday. I only got a couple hours in for Dad. So yeah, bit of a slow week, I guess you could call it. And also, we have got Bermuda then, says Stephen. And also Indonesia flag upside down is which country's flag? Poland. Although there's also another flag that's similar to those two. That's the red and the white, isn't it? I can't remember which one it was, though. Yeah, there's another one with a similar one. And I think Barbados is considered North America. They used to play in the same soccer tournament as USA. Are you going to do a live stream from there, says Rudy? I'd have to organise it. Now that it's outside of the school holidays, though, I guess I'd have a little bit more of a chance. Poland, very nice, says Kerr. Yeah, but yeah, I think I'll have to work out how to do it best because their Wi-Fi at times doesn't work too flash. So I don't know whether I'd have to buy a big data plan. 3 countries, orange, green, and white on the flag. Well, one of them's Oman. I can tell you that much because they have got the orange on there. Oh, what else has orange? Ivory Coast and Ireland. Oh, there we go. Well, we got the other 2. Was Oman the dark horse one of those 3, Kerr? And I hope the Sharks keep this up and keep Munster out in the second half. I'm confident in them. So you're feeling a bonus point coming by the sounds of it for yourself here. I've said strong at the maul so far throughout this match, the Sharks. Now, is it, mate? I hope you're feeling better as yet. Going Munster by 5. Not Oman. Oh, no. No, they've got orange. In fact, I'm going to look up the Oman flag because it's going to annoy me. But they've got orange, white, I believe they've got. They must be missing the green, are they? No, that's not the flag that I meant. Who's got orange? Not Oman. Is it? No, not Tajikistan. Turkmenistan. Is that the one? Turkmenistan. I'll do a Google. Yeah, Turkmenistan. That looks like a little bit of orange there. Sorry, round the wrong way. I got excited. And Oman is red, not flat. And tell you what, if anyone knew Joss, it would be you. Yes, you were over there, or currently are over there at the moment. But yeah, I didn't mean Turkmenistan. And there I got a bit excited. India. Oh, yeah, no, India might have a bit of green. What would you consider Turkmenistan in terms of that color? I guess it depends on what one you look at because they do have orange on some of them, but then also some of them have it as red. In India, it's probably the more basic one that I should have gone with, the South African flag, pre-1940, or sorry, not 1940, 1994. I'm looking at a picture of Turkmenistan's flag. Maybe on a technicality, they might say that it's yellow and red. So we'll go with that. I'm sad though. And which country has black color in the flag? Uh, you go with Trinidad and Tobago, first of all. Trinidad and Tobago. There we go. Yep, they got black on it. Also alongside them, I think Barbados might have black in the middle of the. Yep. India, says Mono Vandenberg. 1 p.m. here. Is it too early for a beer? Nah, you'll be all right. Angola, Middle Eastern Egypt. And who is his head only a plain white flag? Not sure about plain white. If it was plain green, I could tell you it was Libya. But they've actually had a name change too, haven't they? They're no longer Libya. South Africa and Jamaica have black in the flag. Yeah, there's actually quite a few with black in there. Botswana has blue and black, I believe. Says Joss there. Currently halftime, 19.3. Plain white only. Japan before the sun. What do you think before the sun rose? Maybe. Also, Blues Nate, or Morning Blues Nate says coding. Yeah, well, I feel like all this is proving is we have to do some sort of fun, or would you call it fun? Some sort of flag quiz after this live stream. It'll be about 6:10 a.m. New Zealand time, but who doesn't love a good old-fashioned flag quiz? And also, no clue is big rugby nation. And it's not Japan? England? No, England have always Union Jacked it, haven't they? Big rugby, something like a France or Italy? No, Italy. Would they be considered Ireland? Maybe. And love it. Oh, was it Ireland? And fun with flags, Hamish style, says Grant. Yeah, we're giving Sheldon Cooper a run for his money. I've already forgotten what that thingy was that I said for flags and food. I can't remember what my slogan was on which team or what flag you like in terms of color scheme. Oh, color scheme wise. I quite like say shells just because it's pretty much just shove a whole heap of colour in one spot. And I was like, yep, it's France for 15 years, says Kurt. Which old flag has 3 other flags inside? I love the GBR flag. 3 other flags inside. Brain's gone blank for that one. Unfortunately, Dylan, who is that one? And although I love that Kerr, says everything facts, and I love the Great Britain flag. Well, luckily, you can use it on YouTube, whereas the England and whatnot flag, they don't let you. For some reason, it comes through as a black flag when you put it in. I just showing the rolling maul tries once again for the Sharks. It was Bunga Numbi. Did very nicely indeed. Ooh. Union Jack has 3 flags as one. The old South African flag, says Dylan there. Yeah, they are showing the try. Nochi also Bongi Manumbi able to get himself one of the other tries. Yeah, they have been proven very difficult to stop when they get close. So far, Sharks are the old South African flags are the one that's banned. Is Gareth. So how did it have? Was it 3 different parts? Like 3 flags for maybe Pretoria, Cape Town, or was it something else maybe? And also South Africa has black. And there's Monty van den Berg. Well, we all go like this. And like this as well. There we go. And Amish, you know who started this flag quiz, the first chat? Probably me. Like the very first time we started talking about flags, it might have been because I was saying about geography and that I suck at geography, but I'm good at flags. But the very first one today, I believe, was was Kerr. He said about a quiz, and I said chuck some flags down our gullet. South Africa has black and fun with flags. And there says Spider Mick. Yeah, we had fun with hippos yesterday. That sounds weird. We had fun facts with hippos. Still sounds weird. We talked about hippos yesterday. Luckily, the throat, I mean, it's not great, but I think it's slightly better than it was yesterday in terms of soreness. So that's good news. I always find it funny though, how as soon as I end up having water, it actually makes me sound worse than I did before I had the water. It's as if the voice tries to go into reset mode. A half time in this one, I feel like Munster, they'll be disappointed with not being able to get a single try on the board. They opted to take the 3 rather than going for the full 7 points available. And now looking at the scoreboard, they might go, maybe that wasn't the best decision, and going to lose out of the second half. Power going to lose out of the second half. Power going out in 5 minutes. Oh, bloody load shedding, eh? Always kicks in. And also, we have got there, who you been smooching to get sick, Hamish? Says Gareth. That's a great question, Gareth. And to my knowledge, no one. But I've been touching a lot of balls recently. You know, of course, with my job, the bowling alley, cleaning a lot of bowling balls. I think it was also just because I went out so many days in a row. Like, I went out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all different places. So it probably, like, it could have been anywhere that I picked it up. But, fun fact, bowling card, boomfa, there we go. There's me, George, and Daniel. All had a bit of a bowl there, as you can see. 110 in the second go, wasn't too bad. I got a turkey in it. 3 strikes in a row. And fun fact, the next day when I had my little cousin's birthday, I had a chance at another one. I stuck his fingers in the hole, says Grant. Certainly did. Dropping them balls will get you, or them balls will get you. How's your drip doing? My drip? My drip. Like, is it my clothes? like my drip? Is that what we mean? Have you checked in for COVID? I have. I tested negative a few days ago. Probably that was actually before I got slightly worse though, so I might have to do another test at some stage. Won't do that on stream because I am one of those people who sneeze frantically when trying to do it. So you guys would just laugh in my face. The old South African flag had a Union Jack, old South African Republic flag, Transvaal, and the old Free State flag, and only Scandinavian flag with no cross. Only Scandinavian flag with no cross. Okay. So, I'm thinking through them in my head. You got Norway with the cross. You've got Finland, which I think is Scandinavian with the cross. Sweden's got the cross. It's probably not an obvious one. Iceland as well. I'm trying to think of anything up north, and I can't think of anything. San Marino's south. I like saying San Marino. Not sure. Does Greenland? Greenland does not quite count. No, they are a part of another country. And I can see Munster coming back in this match, says Connor. Can't explain, but it has something to do with your penis. Says Gareth there. And what about whooping? What about whooping? Have you take a shot? For what's the whooping one? Whooping cough, isn't it? I'm not sure if I've taken it. Like, I've had needles. I don't know which ones had what, but you know, stock standard. It's going to be kicked high, nicely taken inside of the 22 by Apalele Fassi, who is now on the field. Looking for the touchline, doesn't quite find it now. Kelvin Nash looking to run it back for Munster. There is currently a 16-point difference between these two sides. There is potential something quite special to be coming around the corner. Does England count? England does have a cross though, don't they? Back across to the right hand side, goes short. Kendall and the balls come free, and it will be a knock on. So the scrum will now go in favour of the Sharks. Is whooping cough even a thing anymore? I assume that was like a shot when I was a lot younger, was it? A whooping cough. Fingers in holes and handling balls. Asking for some sickness, if you ask me, says Ethan. Hmm. And the good news is, if I'm healthy, I will get to do it again next week. Have hot water with lemon and honey. I've added a couple, not well, I've had some lemon and I've had some honey over the last couple of days. I've been having some Vicks as well, the stuff that you rub on your chest, the vapor rub. Had that on there for a while. You'll be right. I feel like that's one of those ones that, even though I have been sick, like, I'm looking at the positives, which is I've got so much work done. That scrum's gone up. They're going to have a reset. Like, I've had editing sessions that have gone for about 8 hours, even though I've had like a terrible headache while doing it. Like, it's still been very productive. And it kills a baby last week, whooping cough, says Spider Mech. So did a hippo, you know. We don't have shots against it. No, sorry, that's too soon. But yeah, hippo's 500 a year. 2 flags flown, Buckingham Palace. When and why does it change? Okay, I'll say I know flags in terms of what they look like, not so much about like the history or the stats of flags. I feel like that is something that I do have a gap in my game in for. Though I'd assume that one of them they fly because the other one gets tired. Now it's going to be a free kick for the Sharks. They might go for the corner, and a tequila kills all viruses, says Susan. There you go. The thing is, the amount of time that people have been like, have some whiskey, have some scotch, have some now tequila. It's quite. They want 3 points. Why do they want 3 points? I guess it gets them a little bit further ahead, but I still would have thought that going for the corner would have been a better option. You've been bowling with the lights off. Oh, mate, I'm having fun with multiple holes, says Blues Nate. And I was like, there, which stadium they at? They are at Kings Park Stadium for this contest. Built the Chamberlain about to line up this kick. Although the other night when me, George, and Daniel went bowling, it was good for a start, but then unfortunately they did turn the lights off. So you can't actually see anything through the camera. So we're filming it. Polishing balls with spit, then licking your fingers. Yummy germs. Ugh. 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 That kick is good from Chamberlain, so at least it went over. So that will now give them. No, it doesn't give them really any more of an advantage than they already had. Do they have neon bowling balls? They do have some that go a little bit different. A royal standard flown when King is in residence. Rest of the time, Union flag is flown. Huh. There you go. And then, or they fly flag when Queen in residence. Suppose now for Charles, says Gordon and the Banana Boys, says Susan. Now going off to the right hand side. Nicely run by Thomas DeToy. Sharks, though, very good lead to have at this stage of the match. Munster, they can fight back pretty well in a second half normally, but haven't really had too many opportunities to try and prove that at this stage. Now Buta Chamberlain goes across, drop ball from Lukanyuan, knocked on by Makatoli Mapimpi. Now, scrum feed this time for Munster. It has been a bit of a scrappy game in terms of the amount of scrums that we have had. Sharks used to be called Jaw. Did they? Really? So they just got called after the part of them that was the biggest. In that case, my name should be. No, I'm sorry. It's late at night. It's just banter. 5 minutes, 24. If it was based off the part of you that's the biggest, my name would be Tooth Gap, isn't it? Scrum feed for Munster. 45 minutes in. And Jaws Hamish, come on. Says Gareth. Now, Connor Murray. Oh, no, too much movement. We got a £20 super sticker from Kurt. Hello. Thank you very much, mate. One more. We'll go like this. And we'll go like this so that we can see exactly what that super sticker is. Moment. We're getting there. Very slowly but surely. And the answer is, it is a hippo's rear end. But then he turns around and goes victory with a peace with a peace sign. Thank you very much, Kurt. Usually appreciated. And before our home game, a late Piet Venter. I used to plant a banana tree before kickoff many years ago. When our stadium had concrete seats this season, and Sharks playing good, as we know them to be. And also French flag better than the Union Jacks. He's young. Oh, another advantage. This time, knock on from Munster again. This has been evident throughout this game that both sides not really hanging on to the ball with much security. Now Grant Williams with a bit of a sniping run. Another advantage, I believe. That might actually be now turning into a penalty advantage here. Or maybe not. Maybe the ref was just keeping that arm extended for a relatively long time now. Kicked him behind. Lucanio arm. Advantage is over. So it sits up now and it's nicely taken by Munster. Chance now for them. Kenderlin up to the 22. Now Murray uses it quickly. Crowley with the wide cutout pass. Goes to Malakai Fekatoa down the short side. Close to the touchline. Vincent Tachuka manages to take him down though. Now Crowley looping around, sorry, I should say, to Luckman off to the left. Fresh. Oh, Lucanio arm diving over that ball, lost his footing badly. Now another offload. Here come Munster. First real good chance for them. Ball out wide. Just need, the bounce of the ball can be an ugly thing, and that ball did not like that man. Kelvin Nash now having a regather 5 meters out from the line. Oh, gonna be an advantage. Got 2 hands to it up a little fast, so I believe he won't end up penalised unless, of course, he was offside in that case. Oh, reaching out for the line. They'll be going back for it. My dad and I went fishing one day at Hen and Chicken. Right, white flew out of the water with a seal in its mouth. Fascinating to watch, says Spider Mech there. Interesting. I mean, we've caught a fish before and it had like silveries in its belly, but that's like nothing compared to a shark with a seal in its mouth. And yep, I do, said Susan. And I remember they tried to ban people bringing bananas to Kings Park at a stage. Huh. See, I'll probably end up having a banana after this, to be honest. I've been having a banana for breakfast during the week of being sick. It just seems like a good thing to do, you know. Oh, they've got yellow card here. Now, my question is, if it's a yellow card for Apelele Fasi being blatantly offside, then surely penalty try has to be in the question here. We're just looking for some replays, Mike, was the comment from the TMO. We're playing a bit of Sweet Caroline by the sounds of it at the ground. Neil Diamond, man, he must make a lot of revenue. Like, the amount of places that still play Sweet Caroline, like, that man's balling. Is he alive, Neil Diamond, or is he dead? Neil Diamond. He's alive, so he's making the revenue. Where's George? They should cough at him and make him sick like a proper friend would, says Gareth. Yeah. He said that he was keen to come round, but I felt like if I ended up getting him sick, I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't live it down for a few weeks at least, even though he would have said multiple times beforehand, like, I don't care if I get sick. But yeah, I don't want to get him sick now, definitely because he's normally busy in his tractor. Now, how many more games till the URC final kicks off? Only another 2 after this one in this round. And then after that, we actually go into the next ones, which is going to be 6th of May, the next one. It's an unwritten rule that when you eat a banana, you must maintain eye contact with whichever gentleman in the room or is in the room with you. Never see a guy more uncomfortable, says Kerr. Video idea. The thing is, I feel like George would just come up and just slap the banana out of my hand. Although we've been in a fair few popsicles in front of each other. And it's one of those ones that when you're on a certain level of friendship, eating a popsicle in front of your friends, you don't hesitate, if that makes sense. Has halftime coming yet? Confused? It has. Yeah, we are in the second half, 48 minutes through at the moment. As Kings Park's well known for Sweet Caroline. They play it every single match. I think everyone does, don't they? A little bit of a head-to-head there. Makazole Mapimpi trying to get in the face of Connor Murray. Ask him, how does he grow the hair on the top of his head? It looks like it's breaking out a little bit more off to the side. Thomas Detoy trying to wrestle with 3 players. Werner Koch getting thrown out. Yeah, it's getting heated now. Oh, some Omani might have thrown a couple open palm strikes. I've just mentioned that he might be at red card territory there. Yeah, I think he was going for open palm strikes because that's the thing. You can get away with open palms. You can't get away with closed fists. So they might have to look upstairs with that one. Looks like the Sharks are to beat Munster, Ulster, then Leinster in a row. It's an honour. We are happy to accept, says Gareth. Tell you what, she's going to be a tough path, isn't she? But you get through it. No one can deny that you get yourself the championship. You know? And forgot to tell you, the wife showed up on the ship last week with a new cane stop for me, top girl. You think she was sucking up so that she could then go on that spending spree? Yeah, but new Hurricane stop. You are a lucky guy because I was looking at Hurricanes Hurricanes tops the other day. And I'm still tempted to get one, but they are still $160 New Zealand. And they hardly go off special. Or hardly go on special, I should say. It escalated a little bit between 2 and 3 by the sounds of it. Oh, they've got it 10% off at the moment, so it's 135. Right, so Makazole Mapimpi does put his head on Connor Murray's head, so they might consider that as not really great, but then Omani goes in and then does a few of the open palm strikes with Thomas Detoy. Right, so watching this, gets wrestled down. Thomas Detoy's on top. Peter O'Mahony's just holding him there. I don't know what words are being said, but Thomas Detoy thrown away Luckman there. Werner Koch, we need another camera angle. As O'Mahony reverses, gets side control. Is there anything thrown? I don't think there's a punch thrown or an open palm strike like first anticipated. It's a yellow card for Peter O'Mahony for instigating it, they've said. And Neil Diamond is still much alive, Hammy. I'm listening to him right now. Listening to him I said right now. Also, do you often share rooms with men while eating bananas, says Young. And O'Mahony's a grub, send him to the shower as a dirty fellow, says Gareth. And he's been a fortune, but you can't take it with you, says Kerr. That is very true. The money, of course, not the wife. And another song I adore of Neil Diamond is What a Beautiful Noise, says Andre. Now, 50 minutes through, both sides actually have a yellow card at the moment, so we're close to playing league. I think Munster was trying to get the cameraman to go away. That's going to be a knock-on the ground from the Sharks. Another guy, Fekatoa, has just let out a yes, boys. He's very happy at the moment, but the problem is he's at a pretty average game. So it's fair enough he's firing up his teammates because they might be the saving grace in this contest for Munster. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I may look very tired, which is true, but we're still doing well. It's 5:34 a.m. here in New Zealand, ticking over quite nicely. We're, I think, going to do a flag quiz after this live stream with some exciting prizes on the line. That hasn't been confirmed. That's what I assume, but I shouldn't assume. My dad's always said to me, assumption is the mother of all F-ups. Of course, he doesn't say F, he would say the word, but I am PG-ish. PG-13, I like to call myself. A little bit edgy. Not really. And also, Munster have had 3 yellow cards, if I'm correct, says Andre. Yeah, it's been a right yellow card fest. Another penalty goes the way of the Sharks. If they take the 3 points here, I guess it would make more sense than the last 3 points that they took. But Still think they might want to go for the corner. And Gareth, are you talking about Munster? Here's Barry. Right, what do they decide? Grant Williams looks like Bjorta Chamberlain stepping up, which could mean either. Right, they are going to be kicking for the corner. And yeah, nah, she'll be right, Hamish. There's Spider Mick. Kick for touch. Oh, was that dead? Yes, it was. Bjorta Chamberlain. And also we have got the assume makes an ass of you and me. That's a better one, isn't it? There you go. I didn't think of it that way. I feel like my mind's been blown. And about Munster, kinda, I guess. Says Gareth. Now 52 minutes gone. Still time for Munster to get back into this contest. Quickly having a look at the way that the odds sit for this match. I believe Munster will be coming in as about maybe $8 underdogs is my guess, which I could be very wrong. Isn't it? Chuka, good carry up to the halfway line now. Munster $11. I was going to say 10, but I didn't think it was quite that bad. Now look, arm on the outside, not share. And penalty goes the way of Munster though. In the side as well, I feel like I'm missing something, says Gareth. And if Munster lose this, do they not qualify for the Heineken Cup next year? No, I think it's the top 8, isn't it? Top 8 that go through. Oh, slip on is bottom almost for Crowley, but got some good distance. So yeah, they will still go through to the Heineken Champions Cup. Oh, actually, no. Hang on. It's based off the first team from the 4 provinces. So that would be, I think Benetton qualify, do they? On a technicality. No, sorry, Glasgow will qualify. Which is the group that I'm missing? Ireland, Scotland. I need a Welsh or an Italian team. So yeah, Benetton. And then it's the next best 4. So no, you might be almost right in that statement. No, they still just make it, I believe. Sharks might actually miss out, though, on the overall qualification of the Champions Cup next year. I feel like I'm missing something when I read that one, didn't I? I certainly didn't miss that one. And Leinster winning streak of 17 plus coming to an end, says the Blues, Nate. Yeah, they didn't end up losing their game up against the Bulls just before the quarterfinals as well, but now Calvin Nash, nice grubber in behind for the Munster man. Oh, trying to put that one into Dutch Bjorn to Chamberlain. Doesn't get it right. And it's the try for Munster. I don't know why it still has it only 3 points on the board. They're actually up to 15 now. But the Bulls are given a hiding, says Barry Green, and only top 6 is guaranteed. 7th should be okay, says Sean there. Yeah, because it's not just based off the top 8, is it? It's based off first team for each of the provinces or like the regions, and then the other sides, then it's the next top 4 after that. And isn't it the whole 8 of the URC, top 8 in the top 14 and 6 in the Prem with the Challenge Cup finalists? I think they've got a weird way of doing it. I believe it doesn't just count as top 8. I think, yeah, it's something like the top 1 team from each of the groupings. They want to check this one. What are they checking this one for? The foot and touch? Yeah, nah, might be. Might be in touch with that one. Might have to give it another look-see. The crowd have seen it. They're not happy. Chamberlain has been very poor. Yeah, he hasn't been going too flash throughout this match. Okay, because he didn't carry it in, he's fine, they've said. And winner of both Euro comps get in, says Sean there. We got another donation from Kerr. Thank you very much. And off sick from work, but committed to delivering rugby enjoyment. Our respect and appreciation, good sir, says Kerr. Thank you very much, mate. I will say we haven't done as many this weekend as I would have liked to. Like, we've only done 3, which feels weird because last week we only did 4. We've been slacking big time. Oh, it's hit the post and it's come back out. The score will remain 22 points to 15. But yeah, next week when we're match fit, if you like, rugby analogy, we'll be raring to go. Plenty more streams coming. But yeah, I couldn't go a weekend. Even if I sound like this, you guys know I still try my best on the streams to try and get them going. I think this is probably, to be honest, this is probably. Oh no, 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 no! Don't be doing, don't be doing that. Keep around, voice. We need you for another 30 minutes or so. Still got a flag quiz come up. Yeah, this is probably the sickest that I've had myself be over a weekend on live streams, but still doing live streams. I don't think I've had a cold on many of the other streams in the past few years. Stop screaming at me for your poor throat's sake. Says Vodamic, and Sharks should rotate fly half positions with the Curry Cup team and give Lionel Cronje chance in the URC. He also kicks very well. Minded up with a mime challenge, says Kerr. I've actually mentioned that on a live stream before. I was like, worst comes to worst, I'll just get a whiteboard and just write down what's happening. What is the score now? Currently 22 points to 15. So Munster now $4.50 underdog. So it's changed a little bit compared to just before. Grant Williams on the halfway line with Chamberlain goes to Tupawai, who's had a relatively quiet game on the outside. Vern the Cock as well. Hardly touched the ball, tries to run straight over the top of the Munster player, but doesn't work out from now. Bit of a counter ruck there. Ball available again. Now, almost stolen. No, the penalty goes the way of Munster. They're doing well. I should also mention that Cardiff are the team that are winning out of Cardiff or the Ospreys in their contest. Like I said, Munster, they've got their tails up here. Looking very strong in the last little while. Looking at the clock, they have still got more than enough time remaining in this contest. Could be something big just around the corner for them, perhaps. Won't we all go like this? Go. Let's go, the Sharks. There's Dominique in there. They are certainly going to have to defend hard. So did Munster get a penalty try? They certainly did. So that is where the first yellow card came from, which was Upper Lelefasi. Then we saw a yellow card for Peter O'Mani. Then earlier on in the game, we also saw a yellow card for another Munster player. Shane Klein takes it nicely. Didn't even have to jump for that one. Just ended up going on his tippy toes. Now Barron has it available at the back for Munster here. Murray goes across to the right-hand side. Nice short ball is what I was trying to say. Malachi Fekitoa. I predict the Sharks will run out of steam again. And then I'll chuck away my Sharks jersey, says Dylan. And Chamberlain cost us 14 points in a couple of minutes. Yeah, sometimes it's just not your game. Like, that's the thing. Malachi Fekitoa, I would say that he has had a below-average game, but it hasn't completely cost his side throughout this match. And Munster comeback. His username and also the penalty try, that ref biased by that ref in the head. Although, to be fair, Upper Lelefasi was offside by half a metre. So he didn't really have a choice for that penalty try because with how close they were to the line, if Upper Lelefasi was onside, he would have been able to stop it. Because he was so rushed up, it meant that there was no chance of Munster scoring. And Munster win by 7, says Kerr there, because of Carter being out of the top 8. The team who finishes 8th in the URC won't get the Champions Cup. Yeah, true. So the Sharks, next year, they might be in the Challenge Cup. In fact, they will be, I believe. Now nicely offloaded again. Malachi Fekitoa locking the drive through the tackle of Vern the Cock. Now coming close to 20 minutes remaining. Munster come back very fast because Sharks ill-disciplined so far. Says Barry, their nice run from Gavin Coombs. Thought about the offload, but Gerbera Robala was able to stop him. Now nice Salah, the dummy. Thought about the ball on the outside. Now Murray again. Going after Lochman. Love saying that man's name. It's so much fun. That's going to be a loose ball, though. Munster end up losing it. Then the Cock picks it up just a few metres out from his own line. Massive boot downfield, and boy, has he found some space. Running across to that one, casually taking it. Beautifully done. A lot of composure being shown here from Munster at the back. Malachi Fekitoa, though. Charging back to the right-hand side. Man on the outside. Dunsfine the offload to Frisch. And Frisch has got space. Oxney, brilliant work at fullback there from the loose head prop. Managed to make a tackle that some backs would only dream of. Now Munster 22 metres out. And it's number 22, Healy, now with the ball. Stephen Archer As a crack. Oh, Thomas the Toy's injured by the looks of it as well. And the little grubber in behind, no, wrong choice from Munster. And now Bjorta Chamberlain will be kicking this one out into touch. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake from the Munster men going for the kick for touch and Sia not caring about the Sharks because he is leaving to play overseas. Says Dow, although he's injured in this game. They put the body on the line for them. Hopefully it doesn't cost him his World Cup dreams. Come on, the Sharks, you are playing Union, or you are Union buying all the top players. It's time to perform. There's Marthinus. Hopefully I've said this or that correctly. And competition-wise, he's young. Is URC bigger than the Champions Cup? I think it depends a little bit because, of course, like competitive-wise, or in terms of just like general viewership, I know that viewership-wise, Champions Cup might take it because they have got France added in there as well, which is quite a big viewing audience. Same with England getting added in. But that's why ill discipline costs you points. Says username and come on, Munster, do it for me to make me happy. So Munster currently, they are sitting $5 underdogs, ladies and gentlemen, in this contest. And I have to say, the momentum has shifted big time in this contest because if we look at, before those two tries were scored, there was a bit of a difference in the two sides. But then now that gap's been royally closed down. I should mention later on today there's a bit of UFC taking place. I was like, have you had to sit on a cake and eat a, we'll call that an eggplant, or sit on an eggplant and eat a cake? What would you pick? Oh, it's a tough one, Kerr. Can I have both? No. um, no, either way, like what type of cake is it, first of all? I feel like depending on the cake will depend heavily on the choice. Come on, the Shark Munster for tea, but it's a lose-lose for myself, really, in that scenario. The Sharks by one. Now Malachi Fekatoa. Oh, advantage for Munster again. That's going to be a drop ball, though. I think it's slightly wrong. They will go back. We're on the ground playing it. Connor Murray jogging where Mike Adamson goes. And anywhere Connor Murray was running, Mike Adamson just kept on going. And so Sharks have to win and Connacht lose, says Gareth. Not quite. Actually, no, yeah, you're right there. Yeah, Connacht have to lose to Edinburgh for the Sharks to then qualify for the Champions Cup, I believe. I think, anyway. Oh, they come on, Sharks, Munster for tea. Says Spider-Mick, now Healy. We're kicking this one for the touchline, only about 5 metres out now. The rolling ball, massive opportunity for the Munstermen to get back into this contest. Like I mentioned, they were $5 underdogs. And they were $10 underdogs before that. So these benches might have the massive difference. Are you doing the Connacht match? We are not. It's not actually being showed here in New Zealand, sadly. So we aren't able to catch the action. That's going to be nicely taken by Peter O'Mahony. Now there's an advantage for the knock-on. Now going off to the left-hand side. Malachi Fekatoa. Cross kick attempted from Healy. The ball bounces. It's an advantage. Oh, Keith Earls lands hard over the line. And also Glasgow will beat Connacht tonight with a bonus point win. Says Kerr, you heard it F first. He is a firm supporter of the Glasgow boys. Before the end of the season, we are going to cover one of their games, Kerr. Guarantee you that. That'll probably be the game that they lose. It will be a quarterfinal game. We'll end up covering it, and then that will be the game. Ends up going badly. Right, Peter O'Mahony has been put in his place. He's already received a yellow card. Mike Adamson pretty much said to him, if you keep speaking to me like that, buddy, I'm going to make sure that I put you on the ground. Not literally. He just said he's going to put him on the sideline. Don't underestimate the underdog. So Sharks come out, get your fingers out. Well, come on, get your fingers out. I remember how good the Sharks were in the last year. Super Rugby, Armin Esterhazen still played centres together. The only team that lost, or they lost to, was the Hurricanes when they played abroad. Nicely taken by Jean-Klein again. Rolling ball here for Munster. Trying to muscle their way over the try line, and they don't. Half a metre short. Gavin Coos just couldn't quite get the body momentum going the right way there. Penalty to the Sharks. That's a mess. Wait, no, no, no. Sorry, not penalty to the Sharks. Mike Adamson put his arm up as if it was a penalty, but it is a try for Munster. There you go. The Sharks players are not happy one bit at all here, but the try has been allowed for now. They might end up looking upstairs at it. Right, they're going to have another look at this one. It's nicely taken by Jean Klein. But yeah, Gavin Coombs, first reaction was he was just short of the line and wasn't able to muster his way over. So he goes short. Then tries to put it back to Connor Murray, who then just pushes the ball over the line to score. I'm telling you, Munster by 7, says Kerr. You might be onto something. That kick is going to be good from Healy. And that now makes the score 22 points each. So Munster still $2.90 underdogs. The Sharks $1.80 favourites. Ospreys $26 underdogs. Not going well for them at the moment. Yeah, Munster, they've taken all momentum. Okay, I'm done with the Sharks, though. I'm off to the pub, says Gareth. Hopefully you do get yourself a nice feed. Does your pub do good food, Gareth? I feel like that's one thing I enjoy in a pub is when they also have like good food, and not just good food because people are like half intoxicated, so it seems better than it is. Like actually good food. Do let me know. Now Janssen Fans Rensburg now out onto the field, I believe it is. Another £5 super sticker from Kerr. He has been on fire for this live stream. That's what, £30 so far, and good job with a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Kerr. Although also to the Munster boys, I believe it was, rather than to me. Now Connor Murray inside of their 22, kicking it downfield. There's a try, can't change his mind. The knock on though from Munster, which now gives the Sharks another attacking opportunity. I'm late to the party, says Salah. Although you're coming at a perfect time, because just like the start of this game, the two sides are now sitting on 22, or sitting on the exact same points, I should say. Unfortunately, you got to run off to a meeting. Have a good one. Catch you through the week on Discord. If not, we see that next weekend, says Kerr. Yep. We'll see you later on, mate. Thank you very much for your generosity on this live stream as well. Usually appreciated. And yeah, we'll see you at some stage soon. Perhaps Glasgow in the no, they're in the Challenge Cup. They're actually playing. We will catch up on the Glasgow game, says Kerr there. One day. So if contact Connacht win, Sharks qualify for the Champions Cup. Yeah, so if Connacht lose, they qualify. No, Sharks need to win and Connacht lose. So whoever's in 8th doesn't make it. And game of the pool, ball and beers on the pub with the lads. Who doesn't love a bit of pub pool? Oh, it's a great way of doing it. The local has no food, but pork scratchings always works. Really? No food at the pub? Is it a pub or is it a nightclub? They got no food. Or they just don't like mess. Maybe don't have a chef. Come on, Munster and Connacht. Okay, thanks, Gareth. Here's Barry, and come on the Sharks. Now 13 minutes, just under remaining. Free kick goes the way of the Sharks, looks like. They will once again go for the scrum feed. Sharks isn't performing, and they have all the players, says Nico. Yeah, it's been talked about a lot for the Sharks. All the talent in the world in their side, but the chemistry lacks when they do end up playing. Like, they've made a new front row now. Carlos Sadi, Kieran van Verden, and also, I believe, was that Machunu at number 17? One moment. Yeah, Machunu at number 17. So a whole new front row might end up working quite well for them. I'm sitting here in the Norwegian sun with a fine pint of Le Foot Pils beer. There you go. Never heard of the stuff. Is it any good? Mumbo Jumbo. Now Grant Williams feeds the ball, and the Sharks in a good position on the field. 20 metres out from Munster's line. Big push coming here, but they weren't able to get the penalty advantage. Nochia dragged down. There's actually a knock on in the grounding. Well, at the back of that scrum. Now Sharks have given up their scrum. Munster get another crack. And also smiley faces said on Munster. And also just a pub. There is a kitchen in the back. Are there not enough people wanting to eat? Oh, yeah. Okay, what? Do they do the salted peanuts, though? Salted peanuts. People think when a bar does salted peanuts that they're being complimentary, which some of them are, but other times it's because of the salt on the peanuts makes you drink more beer. You need to try if beer. Is that how you'd say it? If to the Kiwi in Norway, he knows the way. Certainly does. It'll be a nice afternoon as well, wouldn't it? At the moment, players looking tired. Looks like Stephen Barron. Is he making his way to the sideline? Yes, he is. So it will be instead Scott Buckley who will close out this contest. Getting down to the nitty gritty though. 10 minutes remaining. Who are you going for? I am just happy we've had such a close encounter. To be honest, like I'm from New Zealand. It's currently 5:55 a.m. So I was just hoping we'd see a good game, and that's what we've had so far. Like, to be honest, either of these sides could win it in the last 10 minutes. Munster fully has the momentum. Sharks were 19 points to 3 up at halftime, and it's gone downhill from there, but you never know. Popcorn and sometimes hot chips get passed out. Hot chips are great. I absolutely love hot chips. But I actually, yesterday, for tea, I cooked some roasted potatoes, and they were actually pretty good too, compared to the chips. Like, chips are still number one, of course, but like roasted potatoes, when you do them right, they ain't bad either. I've Connor Murray going across to a Dogbo. Man, he's only recently made his way onto the field. He was the man who I was most excited to see off the bench for Munster in this contest to see what he will be able to do. Seems like Murray's going to be playing a majority of this match, though they are yet to make that sub. Champagne Rugby. There's smiley face. Big kick downfield, down towards the 22. Nicely picked up by Upper Lilifasi. Now goes off to Werner Koch. A good distance on that one. And the ball, yeah, that's rolled nicely towards the 22. Ben Healy has to clean it up now. Looking for the up and under. In fact, it's gone actually a lot further than I anticipated. Gone into the 22. Now Biota Chamberlain goes for the up and under of his own. And that one has travelled down towards the halfway line. Nicely taken by Shane Daly. Now Murray going for the kick in behind, looking for the 50-22. There's the space available, but the bounce is not favourable. Sits up for Chamberlain, and he now puts it into touch. Munster with the line out, and wedges are bussing. Bussing's a word that I haven't quite gotten hip enough to say yet, but wedges are very good as well. Anything potatoes, like potatoes are not underrated, but underappreciated. I would say potatoes. Like you can actually completely live off a potato diet. Fun fact. But it's not ideal for long periods of time. I remember watching a thingy a while ago how a guy lived off potatoes for every meal and he lost a huge amount of weight from doing so. And on Ireland, we love spuds, says Karma Peach. Yeah. Yeah, good spud. Can't go past a good spud. Whether it's roasted. I mean, potatoes that are just like new spuds, they're very good as well with some butter, a little bit of garlic in there as well, just a tad. Have you ever had pap, kiwi? I have not had pap. Not underappreciated in Ireland, says smiley face with true there as well. Now, ball going to be available again. Gavin Coombs at the back. He's had an underwhelming game, but only because we haven't seen him with a lot of carries. He's done a lot on the breakdown, so I guess he's had an probably underappreciated game as well. We have got the drink vodka, your spud meal, and bloody cost potatoes now. Or cost of potatoes. Yeah, they're high at the moment. I actually got some. They're arriving tomorrow. Not just potatoes. I got like a whole grocery arrangement, but potatoes for 2 kgs of spuds. You're looking at about $7 now in New Zealand, which it's up there, but I think that's like all things. The price has just rocketed up recently. That's a drop ball from a Dogbo. A Munster, so 7 minutes remaining. Makazole Mapimpi taunting him. I feel like that's something you do when you've won the game, Mapimpi. Your team's yet to do so. You've conceded 19 points in the second half. Don't be too confident. That's all I can say. Arrogance is good when you're winning, but arrogance doesn't look so good when someone can go back and show that clip of him going like this and then Munster running in the final try. And the Sharks' form can damage the form of the Springboks. Had the Sharks, the players, dump their confidence, that lack of confidence will carry over to the box. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Because, like, like I always say, Sharks have all the talent in the world, but they just don't seem to gel. And that can sometimes be more crucial. Like we're seeing in this case, Munster, they've got some great players in there, but they've got more chemistry out there on the field, and it has been prominent throughout the second half. Google pup is a South African food. It's not going to be like a puppy, is it? South African food pup. It looks like something white, isn't it? Well, not app, sorry. Mistype app. It's stiff pat. There's a stiff type of it. Is it pretty much? Is it potato? Maybe. They've said here Munster they could still sneak away with the losing bonus point, even if they did lose this contest. And more brawn than range. The Sharks. There's Nazi Williams, and also we're doing this even without RG Snyman. Speaks volumes. Says Connor Cahill. Manise loves eating raw potatoes. Okay, I'm not quite that fond of them. I like to cook them first. And a raw potato, not sure how that would go. Is that healthy? I feel like it's not. Oh, as long as she's not eating the skin. I think the skin's really bad for you if it's raw, isn't it? But then the potato itself's all right. It would just be very starchy. Maize. Ah, I see. Scrum feed again. The Sharks have got themselves the feed. 45 metres out from their own line now. Grant Williams waiting for this one to come out the back. Sharks trying to get themselves a scrum penalty. No movement whatsoever from either side. Now built the Chamberlain. Kicks it downfield into the 22. Commentators are confused at why they are kicking that ball away there. The Sharks now built the Chamberlain claims it again. Goes off to Apalele Fase. Puts up the up and under. Trying to break his way through the line. Wasn't quite able to do so, but the penalty does go their way. And Pat, sorry, got it wrong. And porridge made from ground maize and corn. And mash or roast spuds. Or I'm a roast spud boy. To be honest, like when you get that nice golden brown crispiness, fluffy on the middle, that's actually not to toot my own horn, but that's actually how I got them last night. Even though I'm very sick, I was like, I'm just going to make like a big old meal that takes, I think it took like an hour and a bit before the Super Rugby live stream. But yeah, the potatoes, key is to give them a bit of a boil first. That softens them up just enough and also gets that fluffiness on the outside so that when you put them in some oil, they bloody, ow, just slam my finger on the keyboard the wrong way. Yeah, no, they were good. Got to do it again at some stage, but I ran out of potatoes. Might even do them tonight. Got some new ones arriving. Later on. 4 minutes remaining with the Sharks. 22 metres out. Kieran van Veeren now throwing the ball in. Stolen by Wycherley. Brilliantly done by Munster. And a crucial time to turn this ball over. Oh, Craig Casey here has made his way out onto the field. So they left it as late as possible. Now, Fekatoa goes off to Healy. Looks like they want to run this one out from their own 22. Now on the outside, Keith Earls, experienced veteran for Munster. Going to drive up the middle, tackled by Lukhanyoam. 40 metres now out from their own line. Healy with the skip pass. And this is where those big forwards need to make sure that they are getting it right in the breakdown, and they have done not quite that. That was a clean turnover. But because, that slap down, going to count as a knock-on for Jansi van Rensburg, though. That was a quick breakdown to explain, but pretty much what happened there was we saw the ball. It was stolen clean by the Sharks. They wanted the advantage, but because he got it so clean, there was no advantage needed. Then from there, Munster actually slapped it straight back into their side. Budget styles don't throw potato peeling skins away. A deep fry them and sprinkle 2-minute noodle flavouring on them. Make chips. There's Nazi Williams. An idea. Potato skins. They're good once they're cooked. I think it was this one. You can't see it now, but on this thumb, I decided ages ago when I was a bit younger that I wanted to make some potato chips, some real thin ones. So I used a slicer, went like that with the potatoes. The worst thing is, at the time of doing it, I had cut up like 5. So because of it, I couldn't use the rest. So I was going like this, and then straight through, chop the side or like the top part of my thumb off there, straight through. Potatoes were red, so I couldn't eat them in the end. That was the saddest part, the fact that I had spent so much effort making potato slices that I couldn't even cook. And that's what she said, love, leave the mullet, babe. Says Blues Nate. Also, too much information there, bro. Skip too many bowlers, mumbo jumbo Kiwi. And watching the Sharks players like lobotomizing myself. That's a big word that I don't know the meaning of. And besides Pep, what about a bunny chow? There's Susan. Now 2.5 minutes remaining. I believe it will now be a scrum feed and a beans roti. I haven't actually tried any of them. I know that our local supermarket now has bottlers. I feel like at some stage I've got to have a bit of a braai, even though I've only got a barbecue. But I'm gonna. How do you cook a bottlers? Is there anything you got to do to it beforehand before putting it on the barbie, ladies and gentlemen? We've got quite a few South African viewers at the moment. I'm sure you guys know the tricks of the trade. Keith Earls, he looks like he's going to be making his way off the field, unfortunately. They're going to be changing their hooker here. Taken a long time, but Baron, he has now been replaced. And that is going to be for Scott Buckley. I thought they already made that change not too long ago. Russ and T. Have you ever eaten shark meat, Hamish? I believe so. I think the local fish and chip shop for a while actually had shark as their fish. And also we have got there, that's my point. Sharks kick much needed position away. And a milk tart says everything facts. And drop goal time says smiley face. We're getting close to it. Although they are 40 metres out from their own line here, Munster. So a little bit more work to get them up the field needed. Craig Casey now feeds the ball in for the scrum. Coombs rolls it back a bit further. And Casey, now going off to Healy. Fish in the midfield over the head. Oh, it's a mistake big time from the Sharks. Upper Lele Fussy, the kicker's gone over his head, gone out, and that is a 50-22. Bottle is good straight on the braai. I don't overcook it. Must still be juicy. Okay. Got to try and keep some moisture in it because they're big, long things, aren't they? Like I saw it, and I was like, yeah, no, that's a long sausage. Now 90 seconds remaining. And this is a big opportunity for Munster. If they score a try here, they take 5 points away from this game, which is actually it's pretty big. How does that sit the Munster if do they gain anything? Well, they go above the Bulls. That's one thing. If they just win this game, or even if they draw this game, they go above the Bulls. And that would actually push them above Glasgow as well if they got themselves the bonus point victory. So that would push them up to 4th. But it's all reliant on this here now, and it's nicely taken the rolling maul. Now starting to commence. 50 seconds remaining on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. I think Baron's actually still out there on the field, but they've just decided to bring another hooker. They've put another forward on the field at this stage. Now, Malachi Fekatoa, he's had a bit of a 50-50 game, but he's now 10 metres out from the line. Great chance on the away side here, Munster. They were able to do it last week against the Stormers. Can they do it again? Lukaniwa, I'm very close to getting that turnover. My voice, there's not much left in the tank in terms of the vocal cords, but we're going to be good for the final moments of this one. And just like these players, they need to absolutely empty their tanks here. Every breakdown, every moment of Dogbo. Now tackled hard, 3 metres out from the line here for Munster, and 2 minutes remaining on the clock now, 22 points to 22. Round the side, Stephen Archer tackled. A penalty advantage would be great for Munster about now, but they still want that bonus point try. And that would be a big decision to make, whether or not they go for that 3 points or whether they do end up going for the try instead, if that penalty did end up arising. Now around the side again for Munster. Still 2 metres out from the line, edging a little bit closer each and every carry, with their big forwards. Now Gavin Coombs, is he held up? He might be held up, or is it a try? Mike Adamson cannot see it. The ball's come back, so for now it is going to be play on. Although now it's called as held up. That will be full time. Surely you at least look at this one if you're Mike Adamson. He had a good view of the ball. He sat there for 5 seconds trying to find it. How can you have a good view of the ball if you can't see the ball? That's the end of the game. It's a draw, ladies and gentlemen. That actually doesn't benefit anyone, I don't think, other than the fact that Munster will progress above the Bulls. That helps them. They're in fifth. If this man, I don't have the energy, said everything facts. Here in Norway, as a whole, or as a whale meat style smoked boulders, very nice indeed. I was like, come on, Munster, says Smiley. Yeah, final moments of the game. Munster very close to the try line. I think at that stage of the match, the Sharks, they'll probably take that one as well because it could have been a lot worse for them. But looking at the United Rugby Championship table now after this game, I'm hoping they update relatively quickly and put them up to 55 points. So Munster, yeah, they'll be on 55. So that puts them above the Bulls. That will put them in fifth, and more than likely, in fact, it's guaranteed now, they will be going head to head with Glasgow in their next game. Kiwi lad, did you have a Boros roll? I didn't. I saw it in the shop and thought heavily about getting it, but decided against it in the end. But I also love the sound of you guys have talked about some sort of cheesy garlic bread type thing that you do on a braai. I'm keen to hear about that. So yeah, the Sharks, they will move up. That blows their chance of a Champions Cup spot. They miss out. Connor just ahead. Bollocks, says Stephen there. And also Sharks plain lucky. But yeah, that's the thing. Munster, depending on how the next result goes, that could have been the home final that they just lost out on. I love the way New Zealand plays rugby. Firstly, they love playing the game, works as one unit for all the full 80 minutes. And also they give it their all. And just a Sharks turnover is all that they need. And come on, you must try a bori roll, says Susan. We're going to have a Google quickly. I feel like the reason I'm Googling is because I'm going to show you guys what the one looks like that's at the local place. And I'll let you guys decide whether or not that will actually be any good compared to the South African borrowers. But all right, the commentators just said he feels that hollow feeling as if they didn't quite get out of it what everyone actually wanted out of this game. Everyone wanted to see a victory for one of these two sides, but in the end, it worked out to be a 22-22 draw. So certainly a better first half. How do you spell borrowers? I've forgotten the spelling. Someone earlier on would have had it. There it is. Borrewor. If they got them, they haven't got them in the search results. So it must just be a local supermarket thing, perhaps. I'll look up sausage in the supermarket menu, that is. All grocery results. They've only got 20 results for sausages. And none of them are borrowers. Okay, wasn't able to quite find what I wanted to. And yep, garlic bread on the braai with steak a winner, says Ronnie. Yeah, I love garlic bread. I feel like a cheesy garlic bread would be absolutely brilliant on a braai. And been a long day for you, Hamish. Kudos, my man, says Mumbo Jumbo. Thank you very much. I'm glad that the voice is held up. Like the throat, not flashed. I'm still very snuffed up, but yeah. I hopefully will be feeling a lot better by about Monday or Tuesday. I feel like Tuesday is probably the more realistic aim. Oh, I'm currently shopping at Auckland New World. Maybe that is why it's not there. One moment, we'll go like that. We'll see if changing it. There we go. Right, they reserved me a slot. Now continue shopping. I'm going to see the results for sausages here. They have the exact same number. Never mind. Thought I found a sneaky secret. And do the Sharks have another game in hand? They do not. So that is the end of the URC for the regular stage. Now it is going to be the playoff games just around the corner. And what's your favorite thing to have on pizza? To be honest, I have become more and more in terms of getting a pizza from somewhere, I'm a plain cheese kind of guy sometimes. Like a pizza, I love the plain cheese. If I was to put stuff on a pizza, I love a bit of chicken. Chicken's just pizza, chicken, ham, beef. Sorry, vegans, but Yeah, I'll go with something like that normally. Bit of barbecue sauce as well. And to have a tequila or two. Trust me, it works, says Susan. I think what I am going to end up doing, since it is 6:15 a.m., I got about 4.5 or 5 hours sleep before the start of this live stream, so I'll probably end up going back to bed for another maybe 5 hours, something like that. Wake up, and then I think I'm going to cook my mum lunch. I think is the plan. So go from there. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in to this live stream. It was a close game, very close game. Couldn't have been closer if it had tried. Yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we will be back with plenty more next week to be able to cover, whether that is going to be the Champions Cup, whether it is going to be Super Rugby, maybe even some cricket thrown in there some stage in the near future. Try and give that a go and have a good day, Amish. You too, Mr. Cookie Boy. I'm just grateful we never lost, at least a draw, says Barry there. Blah, says Gareth for the pizza, I assume that is. Maybe. And also, thank you all. A great game described uniquely, says Eric. And see you next week, says Susan. So, yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.